तेभ्यो ज्ञान विमुक्त भक्ति परमा प्रेमैकनिष्ठास्ततः तेभ्यस्ता पशुपाल पंकजदृशस्ताभ्योऽपि साराधिका प्रेष्ठा तद्वदीयं तदीयतर सरसि तां नाशयेत् कः कृतिः. Again I'll read. Memorize all this. A nice thing to memorize. Karmibhyo
परे
You will mute your phones. You cannot do anything with your phones now. I'm not able to scroll. You only mute your phones. Karmibhyo parito hare priyataya vyaktiryayorjnaninas तेभ्यो ज्ञान विमुक्त भक्ति परमा प्रेमैकनिष्ठास्ततः तेभ्यस्ता पशुपाल पंकज दृशस्ताभ्योऽपि साराधिका प्रेष्ठा तदीयं तदीय सरसी तां नाशयत् कृतिः. कर्मेभ्यो परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिर्ययुर्ज्ञानिनस्. So more than a karmi than all the fruity workers, paritaha in all respects, harehe, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, priyataya, because of being favored, vyaktim yayu. It is said in the Shastra, jnanina, those advanced in knowledge. So let us see the first line. Karmibhyo parito hare priyataya vyaktir yayur jnaninas. More than karmi are the jnanis. Why they are wonderful? Because at least they know they are not the body, they are the soul. One knows that he is not the body, he is soul. And then what he does, he doesn't have any material attachment. But what about the karmis? They're too much attached. They're too much attached to fruity working, fruity results. So more than karmi is a jnani. At least he wants to know that he is not the body, he is soul. That is why he functions in that way. He does tapasya. So a lot of tapasya is done by the jnanis. Just to know I'm not the body, I'm soul. That is why he doesn't focus his life in the bodily needs. The next line is Tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama. So more than a jnani, superior to them, is jnana vimuktaha. Who is jnana vimuktaha? By his knowledge, he is liberated. So one is advanced in knowledge, at least is trying to get the knowledge. One is liberated by his knowledge. So that means what type of liberation has been spoken here? They want to merge in the Brahman. That type of liberation. He is liberated from the material things, material attachments, and he wants to merge in the Brahman. But more than them is Paramaha Premaikanishthastatha. Wait. Tebhyo jnana vimukta. So jnana vimukta is superior to jnani. And beyond jnana vimukta is bhakti paramaha premaika So more than jnana vimuktaha are bhakti paramaha. So more than a jnani is bhakta. More than a liberated person is one who is ekanishtaha. He has ekanishtaha. Okay. 1 minute. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take up to devotional service. Okay. So Tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama premai kanishtasata. So there are so many jnanis. Among that, one jnani who is vimuktaha, vishesha rupena mukta is there. That is why there is not mukti of that's not merging into Brahman. It is vivishesha rupena muktaha. Why? Because he has taken bhakti and prema ekanistha. So in this way, prema ekanistha will come again afterwards. So now here one who has taken to devotional service is beyond Jnani. And even in that, those who are engaged in devotional service, prema ekanishtaha, those who have attained pure love of God, is tataha, superior to even all the bhaktas. And beyond them, tebhya tadaha pashupala pankaja drishaha. So beyond even the prema ekanishta are the gopis who are dependent on Krishna, the cowherd boy. And then above all of them, so tebhya pashupala pankaja drishas tabhyopi radhika. Tabhyopi means above all, everyone is Radhika, is Srimati Radharani. And she is very dear to Krishna, and equal to her, equal to Krishna, equal to Srimati Radharani is her Kunda also. Tadiya Sarasi, Sri Radha Kunda. Tadiya Sarasi, Sarasi means the lake. Tam Nashriyat Kakutihi. So who would not like to go and reside on the banks of Radha Kund? So you see the comparison, how many comparison has been given. Karmibhya parito hare priyataya vyaktiryurjnaninas, first beyond karmi jnani. Then among all the jnanis, who is the topmost? Tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama, who has taken bhakti. Then premai, who has taken bhakti, yes. Till he is second comparison. Among all the bhaktas, there will be one who has prema ekanishtaha. Prema ekanishtaha. So among all the bhaktas, again third comparison. And the fourth comparison is with, among all such premis are the Pashupala Pankaja Drushaha. Pashupala Pankaja Drushaha. So Pashupala is Krishna Pashupalaka. Pankaja, he has the lotus eyes, lotus feet, everything compared to lotus. Drishaha, they are always dependent, the gopis. Drishaha. So among all the prema ekanishta are the topmost is are the gopis. Among all the gopis are is Radhika. Equal to Radhika is Radhakund. So 5 comparisons are given. Beyond karmi, jnani. Among all the jnanis, bhakti paramaha, that is how jnana vimukta bhakti paramaha. Second. Third, among all of them are prema ekanishtaha tataha. Among all of them, gopis. Among all of them, Radhika. Simple words. 5. Equal to Radhika is her Sarasi. That is her Kunda. Who would not like to stay in Radha Kund? So Gita Mataji, you read. I'll just leave the group and try to start. I'm not able to leave also. Very nice. Stuck in such a way. I cannot do anything.
Mataji, Gautam Prabhuji can, do that. So you can ask him, no, Mataji?
Gautam, do something. I'm not able to scroll at all. Gautam? He is with my parents. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I read.
Karmibhya parito hare priyataya vyaktim yayurjnaninas tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama premaikanishta tebhyasta pashupala pankaja drishastebhyopi saradhika preshta tadvidiyam tadiya sarasi tam nashrayet kakriti. Translation. In the Shastra, it is said that of all types of fruitive workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Jnanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental coward boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear in Krishna. Her Kunda lake is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis, who then will not reside at Radha Kunda and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, aprakrita bhava, render loving service to the divine couple Sri Sri Radha Govinda, who perform their Ashtakaliya Leela, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kunda are the most fortunate people in the universe. Purport. At the present moment, almost everyone is engaged in some kind of fruitive activity. Those who are desirous of gaining material profits by working are called karmis or fruitive workers. All living entities within this material world have come under the spell of Maya. This is described in the Vishnu Purana 6.7.61. विष्णुशक्ति परा प्रोक्ता क्षेत्रे ज्ञानाख्य तदा परा अविद्य कर्म संज्ञान्य तृतीय शक्तिर्इष्यते. Sages have
विष्णुशक्ति परा प्रोक्तः क्षेत्रज्ञाख्या तथा परा अविद्या कर्म संज्ञान्यः तृतीयः शक्तिर्इष्यते. So, Supreme Personality of Godhead, the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is divided into three categories. Spiritual energy, para proktaha, para shakti, kshetrajñakhya, tatha para. Then avidya karma samjnani. So now marginal energy, that is kshetrajña, one who knows his body, that is jivatma. And then avidya karma samjnani, that is material body, material matter is avidya, ignorant. So first line speaks about the internal potency, second line speaks about the marginal potency. First kshetrajna has been given. Gya means knower, kshetra means the body, and then avidya karma, that is material energy. So in this way, the three energies has been given in the first three lines. Tritiya shaktishyate. Okay, read from the next one. The material energy is considered to be the...
Sages have divided the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into three categories, namely the spiritual energy, marginal energy, and material energy. The material energy is considered to be the third-class energy, Tritiya Shakti. Those living beings within the jurisdiction of the material energy sometimes engage themselves like dogs and hogs in working very hard simply for sense gratification. However, in this life or after executing pious activities in the next life, some karmis become strongly attracted to performing various kinds of sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. Thus, on the strength of their pious merit, they are elevated to heavenly planets. Actually, those who perform sacrifices strictly according to Vedic injunctions are elevated to the moon and planets above the moon. As mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita 9.21, Shine Punyamartye Lokam Visanti. After exhausting the results of their so-called pious activities, they return to the earth, which is called Martyaloka, the place of death. Although such persons may be elevated to the heavenly planets by their pious activities, and although they may enjoy life there for many thousands of years, they nonetheless must return to this planet when the results of their pious activities are exhausted. This is the position of all karmis, including those who act piously and those who act impiously. On this planet, we find many businessmen, politicians, and others who are simply interested in material happiness. They attempt to earn money by all means, not considering whether such means are pious or impious. Such people are called karmis or gross materialists. Among the karmis are some vikarmis, people who act without the guidance of Vedic knowledge. Those who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge perform sacrifices for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu and to receive benedictions from him. In this way, they are elevated to higher planetary systems. Such karmis are superior to the vikarmis, for they are faithful to the directions of the Vedas and are certainly dear to Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.11, Krishna says, Ye yata mam prabhadyante tam tadaiva bhajami aham. In whatever way one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. Krishna is so kind that he fulfills the desires of the karmis and jnanis, not to speak of the bhaktas.
Okay,
Although
right.
the okay.
Wait. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां सतैव भजामि मम वर्तमानो वर्तन्ते मनुष्य पार्थ सर्वश्न. To the extent a person comes to Krishna, Krishna rewards accordingly. So karmis, whatever they want, Krishna gives. Jnanis, karmis. Krishna, to the extent a person surrenders, whatever they want, accordingly Krishna rewards. If somebody wants the Brahman aspect of Lord, then Krishna, why he should show his beautiful form? So in this way, Krishna is so kind that he fulfilled the desire of the karmis and jnanis. When he can fulfill the desire of karmis and jnanis, why not of the bhaktas? Krishna can easily reward the bhaktas. And I read this statement, I remember my son. Because in his childhood, I think he was just 4 or 5 years. And then we had gone to Gopinath temple. At the time, Gaurang Prabhuji used to come. So then he gave the Kantimala and told, please offer it to Lord, and we all three will wear. So then my mother was like, she was so upset. She said, what is this from now, Kanti? What will happen when he goes to college? He will not eat onion, garlic and all that type of food should be available. One statement my son told that time. So he's small, 4.5, 5 years. He told, if Lord can feed dogs, why not he can feed a devotee? I had this, I remembered. So when he went to IIT Bombay, IIT Varanasi, the ISKCON base was just next to his building. When he did his his PhD in ISKCON Bombay, IIT Bombay, again the base was very close. Everywhere he got ISKCON facilities. So this is the line. If Lord can take care of karmis, why not of bhaktas? We feel, oh, what will happen to our children when they go to college? That is why we are reluctant to make them even wear the kanti. At the age of 17.5, 18 years, he got the initiation. Guru Maharaj's youngest disciple, Narayan Damodar Das. At the age of 17.5, he just joined, he came in flight, took initiation. At the time also so much of halla was happening in our house. He just took initiation then. And Guru Maharaj's kripa, everywhere he got the facilities, food. Not only he got, he used to make also and give to other devotees when he went to Australia. So in this way, everywhere, Lord helps the devotees. We should have the faith that Lord will, when Lord feeds dogs, just imagine, dogs don't take that much pressure. Why should we take pressure? Isn't it? Okay. Read.
Okay.
Who will read now from here? Mana Roy, Mataji, read. Mana Roy.
Can you hear me, ma'am? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Read.
The attempt to earn money by all means not considering means of fear such people.
No, not at all audible now. That time it was audible. Okay, I think there's some problem. Jambavati Mataji, you read.
Hello.
Wait. Now later, Jambavati Mataji, read.
Although the karmis are sometimes elevated to higher planetary systems, as long as they remain attached to fruitive activities, they must accept new material bodies after death. If one acts piously, he can attain a new body among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, or he may attain some other position in which he can enjoy a higher standard, a higher standard of material happiness. On the other hand, those who are engaged in impious activities are degraded and take birth as animal, trees, and plants. Thus, those fruitive actors who do not care for the Vedic directions, Vikarmis, are not appreciated by the learned saintly persons, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.4. Mataji, I'll not be able to read this verse.
Okay, I'll read the verse. It's a very important verse. Who are all mad people? So this is the verse which speaks. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yad indriya pritaya apnoti na sadhu manye yataya atmanoyam asannapi klesha asha deha. Nunam pramatta. Pramatta means prakrusha rupena matta, completely mad. Mad person. Nunam pramatta. What is he doing? Kurte vikarma. He is performing vikarma. Vishesh. Now vikarma is what? Not Vishesha Rupena Karma. Vikarma means Sakarma Vikarma. The activities which is not to be performed, which is not encouraged in the Vedas, which is not told in the Vedas. He is performing such activities. They are actually mad people. They are really mad people. Prabhupada writes even Sakarma, Vikarma all come in the category of Vikarma only. Whether good or whether bad. Everything comes in the category of Vikarma. Because even if you are good in the society, even if you are performing good activities, you are going to get only heavenly planet. What is the use of getting heavenly planet when you are bound to come back? Shine punya martalokam vishanti. When you are bound to come back again in the earthly planet, what is the use of going to heavenly planet also? Because in the heavenly planets, again, the sense gratification is many, many times more than even the earthly planet. So what is the use? He is not liberated. So Nunam Pramatta. So he is completely mad person. And how is he working? Like dogs and hogs. Like see, dogs and hogs. 2 words Prabhupada uses. Dogs who always try to control over their area. This is my area. Hogs just going on begetting children. So much of sense gratification, so much of sex pleasure, so much always into eating. You see the pigs always go on eating. They just want to eat. They'll take the piglets also with them. And in this way, they go on eating, go on eating. So our life is not meant for going on eating. When a person goes on eating, every 2 hours they want to eat, it's actually piggish mentality. A sane person, a sadhu, takes only 2 times. You know that? Maximum 3rd time. Should not go on eating. I went now somewhere. Now just 2 months before, I had gone to Ichal Karanji. From there, we had gone to Mahalakshmi and Udupi and all we had gone. I went to a family's house. They fed. After that, after eating, actually should take a gap, na? They again brought some papad. I don't know, हो गया ना हाथ धो के नहीं ये हमारा प्रथा है. I said ठीक है. Just to keep their mind, I took some. Once you finish off what you do, then papad. Afterwards, they brought something else. Then last day they brought ice cream. At least between that ice cream and that, they must have fed at least 4 or 5 items, lunch and what is this? We are traveling on top of that. And on top of that, they give so much. 1 घंटे के बाद और खाइए. I thought, oh my God. The whole life. I thought, you all eat like this only. They said, yes, we go on eating. Whole day, 1 hour, not 1 hour, 1 hour, makes some sense. It's immediately 15 minutes, something in the mouth. So this is what piggish mentality. Something chewing, eating. And then doggish mentality, controlling tendency. And such people, they live for sense gratification. They're actually mad people. Very nice line. Nunam pramattaha kurte vikarma. Remember this line. Whoever does like this, you tell this verse, they will think you are a Pandit. Actually, you are calling them mad. But you cannot tell them directly. So you can say this, Knunam pramattaha kurte vikarma. They'll think, oh, wonderful, oh, Jamavati Mataji, you know so much of slokas. But actually what you're doing, you're calling them mad. Like somebody, you want to say you are a dustbin. Don't say dustbin. You say Vayasam Tirtham. The pilgrimage of crows. You know that? What is the meaning of Vayasam Tirtham? Pilgrimage of crows. Where the crows sit in the dustbin. So suppose you want to say somebody you are a dustbin, it means you are a nonsense. You can say Vayasam Tirtham. These are eloquence of language. And the person will think, oh, he has called me Tirtha. But which Tirtha? It is Vayasam Tirtha. So then, yet indriyaha pritaya apnoti. What is he doing? Whole day thinking of how to enjoy the senses. But then, na sadhu manye. Na sadhu manye yata atmanoyam. Na sadhu manye. He is not interested. He is not interested in knowing himself. He is not an intelligent man. Asanapi klesha asha deha. That is why he suffers. You see, the more we go on eating, there is something known as am. You know that what is am? In Ayurveda, am means extra food deposited in your bodies. If you don't give gap, we will have extra food which is deposited. That is why intelligent person just one times over. This is how your ahara should be. If you don't do that, there's that means an extra food which is deposited, which gets converted into many, many things like cancer, blocks. Now these things comes. That is why we have to be very careful. What goes in the mouth, has it been flushed out? We should see that. If it doesn't flush out, then it gets deposited. That is why nowadays many people, they suffer from cancer, tumor, then you have so much of blocks, so many things. Heart problem, this problem, knee problem, leg problem, weight problem. Be very careful about what we eat. So this is the verse, Klesha Ansha Deha, in this way is. Okay, the purpose of human life is to get out of threefold miserable condition, which are concomitant with material existence. Again, this line is very important. What is the purpose of life? To come out of this threefold miseries. What is threefold misery? Adhyatmikta, Adi Bhautikta, Adi Daivikta. Threefold misery. Already body is suffering, mind is suffering. Somebody comes and gives us trouble, or nature gives a trouble. So from here, Saurabh Prabhu, please read.
Materialists who work hard like dogs and hogs simply for sense gratification are actually mad. They simply perform all kinds of abominable activities simply for sense gratification. Materialistic activities are not at all worthy of an intelligent man, for as a result of such activities, one gets a material body which is full of misery. The purpose of human life is to get out of the threefold miserable conditions, which are concomitant, concomitant with material existence. Unfortunately, fruitive workers are mad to earn money and acquire temporary material comforts by all means. Therefore, they risk being degraded to lower species of life. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world. They do not stop to consider that they will live only for a certain number of years, out of which they must spend the major portion acquiring money for sense gratification. Ultimately, such activities end in death. Materialists do not consider that after giving up the body, they may become embodied as lower animals, plants, or trees. Thus, all their activities simply defeat the purpose of life. Not only are they born ignorant, but they act on the platform of ignorance, thinking that they are getting material benefits in the shape of skyscraper buildings, big cars, honorable positions, and so on. The materialists do not know that in the next life they will be degraded and that all their activities simply serve as parabhava, their defeat. This is
Parabhava tavad. Parabhava means defeated. Yeah.
this is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam. Parabhavas tavad abodha jata.
Abodha jati. Let's read. Fifth canto, fifth chapter, fifth verse. Open. If you have Veda base, you open that verse. Let us take this verse nicely. What Bhagavatam speaks about it. Fifth chapter, canto, fifth verse. So Aditya can put it in the group also. Yeah.
Yes, Bhakti.
पराभवस्तावदबोधजातो यावन्न जिज्ञासत आत्मतत्त्वं यावत् क्रियास्तावदिदं मनो वै क्रमात्मकं येन शरीरबन्धः. This is the next verse after nunam pramattah. 5.4 says about nunam pramattah. Then prabhavas tavad abodhajato. Prabhava, he has been defeated. He's so much in miserable condition. Why? Abodha jata. Because he's born with ignorance. He doesn't want to be knowledge. Na jigyasata atma tattvam. He doesn't want to know about himself, that he's servant of Lord. Yavat kriyas tavad idam manovai. So what is he doing? He's just performing fruitive activities. His mind is only engrossed. Manha vai karma atmakam, absorbed in material activities. And that is how yena sharira bandha. So in this way, there is always bondage. There is always a bondage. Very beautiful verse. Prabhavas tavad bodhajato. You should try to memorize all these verses. At least know the verses. How there is sharira bandha. Why a person is not able to come out of all this entanglement. Because he's interested in fruitive activities. His mind is absorbed in just sense gratification. That is why he's defeated actually. You see, the more we try to enjoy the matter beats us. Initially, it will be like a nectar. But afterwards, it's the greatest poison. Okay, Aditya, you can read the verse if you want. Like
Okay.
Bhagavatam verses, if you read the verse.
पराभवस् पराभवस्तावत् अबोधजातो यावन् न जिज्ञासत आत्मतत्त्वं यावत् क्रियास्तावत् इदं मनो वै कर्मात्मकं येन शरीरबन्धः. Translation: As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear, and as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body. One should therefore be eager to understand the science of the soul, Atma Tattva. Unless one comes to the platform of Atma Tattva, by which one understands that the soul and not the body is oneself, one remains on the platform of ignorance. Out of thousands and even millions of ignorant people who are wasting their time simply gratifying their senses, one may come to the platform of knowledge and understand higher values of life. Such a person is called Gnani. The Gnani knows that fruitive activities will bind him to material existence and cause him to transmigrate from one kind of body to another. As indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam, by the term Sharira Bandha, bound to bodily existence, as long as one maintains any conception of sense enjoyment, his mind will be absorbed in karma, fruitive activity, and this will oblige him to transmigrate from one body to another. Thus, a gnani is considered superior to a karmi because he at least refrains from the blind activities of sense enjoyment. This is the verdict of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, although a gnani may be liberated from the ignorance of the karmi, unless he comes to the platform of devotional service, he is still considered to be in ignorance, avidya. Although one may be accepted as a gnani or one advanced in knowledge, his knowledge is considered impure because he has no information of devotional service and thus neglects the direct worship of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When a Gnani takes to devotional service, he rapidly becomes superior to an ordinary Gnani. Such an advanced person is described as Gnana Vimukta Bhakti Param. How a Gnani takes to devotional service is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, wherein Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanamante Gnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Actually, a person is wise when he surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, but such a Mahatma, great soul, is very rare. After taking to devotional service under the regulative principles, a person may come to the platform of spontaneous love of Godhead, following in the footsteps of great devotees like Narad and Sanak and Sanatan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then recognizes him to be superior. The devotees who have developed love of Godhead are certainly in an exalted position. Of all these devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna. Nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. Indeed, sometimes Krishna puts them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, the gopis became most dejected and spent the rest of their lives simply crying in separation from Krishna. This means that, in one sense, they were never actually separated from Krishna. There is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. Rather, Vipralamba Seva, thinking of Krishna in separation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. Thus, of all the devotees who have developed unalloyed devotion, love for Krishna, the gopis are most exalted, and out of all these exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest. No one can excel the devotion service of Srimati Radharani. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feeling. In this way, Srila Rupa Goswami gradually concludes that Srimati Radharani is the most exalted devotee of Krishna and that her Kund, lake Sri Radha Kund, is the most exalted place. This is verified in a quotation from Bhagavatamrita, Uttarakhand 45, as quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. यथा राधा प्रिया विष्णोस्तस्या कुण्डं प्रियं तथा सर्वगोपीषु सेविका विष्णोर अत्यन्तवल्लभा. Just as Srimati Radharani is dear to the Supreme Lord Vishnu, Supreme Lord Krishna Vishnu, so her bathing place Radhakund is equally dear to Krishna. Among all the gopis, she alone stands supreme as the Lord's most beloved. Therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radhakund and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of Rupa Goswami in the 10th verse of Updeshamrita. Hare Krishna.
We had a land in Radhakund. My Guru Maharaj told, sell it. Go and preach. So, preaching is the essence. So, I had to sell. We had 5 acres land there. So, it is not that you pack the bag and go to Radhakund and sit. We have to be very, wherever we preach, that is Radhakund, Shyamkund, simple. Krishna recites. Paunam Janmanamante Gyanvan Man Prapaddate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samatma Sudurlava. Out of many lifetimes, many lifetimes. Bahunam Janmanamante Gyanvan Man Prapaddate Vasudeva Sarvamiti. This Vasudeva Sarvamiti indicates understanding Krishna as a person, understanding Krishna as Paramatma. Same Krishna is present everywhere as Brahman. Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam. Bhagavan aspect. Sarvam iti vasati Vasudeva, Paramatma. Vasati iti sarvatraha Vasudeva, Brahman aspect. So in this way, Vasudeva has 3 meanings. Vishati iti sarvatraha Vasudeva. Sarvam iti vasati Vasudeva. And then vasati iti sarvatraha. Sarvam iti vasati. In all he resides. That is Paramatma. Vasati iti sarvatraha. Is there everywhere. Vasatiti Sarvatra, Brahman. So after many, many lifetimes, the Jnani comes to know that one person, that one single person, Krishna, has three features. Bhagavan, Paramatma, Brahman. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. And then that is how the Jnanis, they come to the platform of Bhaktas. And then when they become Bhakta, there will be one devotee who has so much of love for Krishna. One performs devotional service, but one attains the love for Krishna. Among all of them, gopis are the topmost. Among all the gopis, Radharani is the topmost. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnus, Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata, Sarvagopaishu Sevaika Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnus. Yatha Radha. Radharani is Priya Vishnu. Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata. Her Kunda is equivalently Priyam to Krishna. Sarva Gopeshu Sevaika. Everybody is serving, but among all, Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. Radharani is Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. Okay. So Rupa Goswami, so everyone interested in Krishna consciousness to ultimately take shelter of Radha Kundi. So we do the 11th verse. So your lecture of instructions will be done. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maladi, I have a question.
Yeah.
In the translation, the last part, it is mentioned that there Astakaliya Leela, there are eight eternal eightfold daily pastimes. So what is that, Maladi? If you can please explain.
Ashtakaliya Leela refers to, if you remember, we had gone to a place in the, when we were doing Vajimandal Parikrama. There, morning hours, Sukha and Sari, they come and wake up Lord. It's a morning hours time. What he does in the afternoon, in the middle of, in between afternoon and the morning, there's a gap. That time what he does, afternoon what he does, evening what he does, 8 times. Ashtakaliya Leela. That is very nicely described in one of the books. His Nectar of Devotion only. Ashtakaliya Leela is there. Very nicely described. 8 times in a day, what are the different types of activities which he does. Morning hours, how they wake up, Lord. Night, how he goes to the kunja. Before that, he goes to the house. All these things are there. 8 times. Divided into 8 parts. Okay?
Okay, Maladi. Hare Krishna.
Last verse. Krishna Syochai Pranaya Vasati Prayasibhyopi Radha Kundam Chasya Munivirivitas Tadavevadai Yat Preshteraptasulabham Kim Pudar Bhakti Bhajaham Tatmedam Sakriti Sarasatura Vishkaroti Krishna Syochai Pranaya Vasati Prayasibhyopi Radhan Kundam Chasya Munivirivitas Muniviravitas. Every day I chant now, that is why Fatafat it comes, then I'm now looking how it is split. Muni Bhir Abhitas. That is a Muni Bhiravitas. R and A joined it together. Muni Bhiravitas Ta Drugeva Vidhai Yet Preshte Apyalam Asulabham. Yet Preshte Apyalam Asulabham. Apyalam Asulabham. Kim Punarbhakti Bhajam Yat Preshte Apyalam. Actually, what happens is, it's so much memorized now, I cannot see and do. That is a problem now. Seeing and doing is now, I'm finding it very difficult. Yat preshtairapyalam masalabham kim punarbhakti bhajam tat premedam sakrudapi sarah snatura vishkaroti. If I do, then I have to do Sandhi Vigraha. Anyhow, Krishna's yochai pranayavasati priyasibhyopi radha. Krishna's yochai of Lord Krishna, Uchahi, very highly. Pranayavasati, who is the object of love. Prayasibhyopi radha. Among all the gopis, it is Radharani who is the topmost. Kundam chasya muni bhirivatas tadruve vidhai. Kundam chasya. Her kundam muni bhi abhitaha. In all respects, her kunda is also dear to Lord. That is what is described by the great sages. Munibhi, abhitaha. That means abhita means abhitaha vidhai, described by the sages. That her kunda is equivalently lovable or object of love for Krishna. Yat preshter apyasulabham kim punar bhakti bhajam. Yat preshter apyalam sulabham. That means yat preshter, those advanced devotees, api alam asulabham. Even for the advanced devotees, Radha Kund is very difficult to obtain. Kim punar bhakti bhajam. Those who are performing devotional service, even for them also it is very difficult to attain. Tat premedam sakrudapi sarasnatura vishkaroti. So what can we desire? We are just sadhakas. What we can desire? At least one time, let me go and take bath in Radhakund shampoo. That much we can take. We can desire. So what Gaudiyas do? One time Radhakund, again time Shamkund, again come to Radhakund. That is how. At least once. Api. Api means Sakruta Api. At least once in the lifetime, one should take bath in Radhakund. Okay. Krishna Syochai Pranayavasati Preyasibhyo Piradha Kundam Chasya Muniviribhatasta Bhragayodai Preshteraptalam Sulabham Kim Pula Bhakti Bhajam Tatpramedam Sakrutapi Sarasnatura Vishkaroti. Saura Prabhu, you will be reading the verse. And then reading the translation will be done by Pushpa Mataji. You have to memorize all these verses, all the 11 verses which Guru Maharaj has a desire. He gave once a class in the Mira Road. He said, my desire is all of you should memorize 11 verses. I took it to my heart. And every day I make it a point that when I collect the ingredients for the worship of Lord, I chant this verse. This is my Swadhyay. This Ishopanishad, Gopi Gita, Bhagavatam, first and second chapter, and you have Brahma Samhita, as many verses of Bhagavatam, then Ramananda Rai Sambad, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and maximum slokas from 108 verses of Bhagavad Gita. So this should be your Swadhyay, at least this 11 verses, which Gaudiya, if you are a Gaudiya, you should know these 11 verses. If you don't know the 11 verses, you are not accepted as a Gaudiya Vaishnava. This is a desire of Rupa Goswami. Try to memorize. We talk so much, isn't it? We can shut our mouth in all our talks and memorize the verses. And as many verses. So that at least when we quit the body, we have the satisfaction and utilize the body to the best. Because we don't know what we are going to get the next life. That is for sure we are going to get the devotion. Our acharyas will somehow engage us in devotional service. But the satisfaction of getting this life is we can memorize the shlokas. Prabhupada says, so many tensions we take, isn't it? This should be the tension. I should memorize the verse. Memorize. If this pressure is there, you will not give pressure to others. Generally, we don't read the verses. We don't take pressure. We give pressure to our children, to our husbands, to whoever near to us. The better is we take the tension so that others all are in relief. So Prabhupada has given us a wonderful task. So we can take up this task. Okay.
Krishnasyoche pranaya vasati preyasibhyo piradha kundam chasya munibhir avitas tadrigeva vyadhai.
Kundam chasya munibhiravitas.
Kundam
Don't say
munibhiravitas. Munibhiravitas. Tadrigeva vyadhai. Yat preshter api alam asulabham
apyalam
apyam apyalam
apyalam asulabham
yat preshter apyalam asulabham kim punar bhakti bhajam tat premedam sakridapi sara snatur avishkaroti.
tat premedam sakrudapi sarah natura vishkaroti.
Premedam sakridapi sara natura avishkaroti.
Easy it is actually. It looks lamba lamba. It's very easy verse. Okay. Pushpa Mataji, please read. Where are you? Pushpa is not seen. Here. How
Yes,
is it that
Mataji,
you
Hare Krishna.
come out like this? You're hiding somewhere or what?
No.
Okay.
I'll read,
Read.
Mataji.
Read.
Of the many objects of favored delight and of all the lovable damsels of Brajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once with those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Why is Radha Kund so exalted? The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani, who is the most beloved object of Sri Krishna among all the gopis. She is the most beloved. Similarly, her lake, Sri Radha Kund, is also described by great sages as the lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radha Kund and Srimati Radharani is the same in all respects. Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by great personalities fully engaged in devotional service, not to speak of ordinary devotees who are only engaged in the practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. It is stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of the gopis if he once takes a bath in Radha Kund. Srila Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of Radha Kund, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. This is a most important item in the execution of devotional service. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radha Kund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service in the wake of the lady friends, Sakhis, and confidential serving maids, Manjaris, of Srimati Radharani. Living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental kingdom of God, Golok Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual bodies, Siddha Deha, should live at Radha Kund, take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha, and under their direction engage constantly in her service. This is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narada and Sanaka do not get an opportunity to come to Radha Kund to take their baths. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? If by great fortune one gets an opportunity to come to Radha Kund and bathe even once, he can develop his transcendental love for Krishna, exactly as the gopis did. It is also recommended that one should live on the banks of Radha Kund and should be absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all material conceptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant gopis. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back to Godhead to serve Sri Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the banks of Radha Kund. The conclusion is that to live on the banks of the Radha Kund and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service. It is a difficult position to attain, even for great sages and devotees like Narada. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Sri Radha Kund. By serving Radha Kund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis. Hare Krishna.
So we are going now, September 24th, Vrindavan Yatra. Someone wants to jump in, you can jump in. 2 days, Govardhan Parikrama. Half of 1 day, half, 1 day, half. So we are going to stay there for 4 days. This time the longest stay. 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, return. Returning from there, coming here on 30th. Somebody wants to come, even now the tickets are available. So you can tell me. So nice, all the verses are very good. So now we'll study for the examination. Next week I'll not keep any class for you all, so that I can concentrate in Hindi section. For Hindi I have not taken anything. Their exam is there on Saturday, Sunday. So I'll try to take Hindi class the day finish, and then we'll start with Ishopanishad. So you can study, and then your exam will be next Saturday, Sunday. Is it okay? Too much? 5
Mataji,
verses.
took some time, Mataji. It is too much. This Saturday, Sunday also exam.
Okay, 15. Tomorrow is Snan Yatra. If you're wherever you're close by to your temple, go. And we have Jagannath Devasthanam. Nice celebration is there. Tomorrow is appearance day of Lord Jagannath. That is how tomorrow is a Hati Vesh. So you can come to Jagannath Devasthanam if you're located nearby. And then you can have 15 days for examination. What is the next Saturday, Sunday date? Next Saturday, 22, 23. I think 29, 30th. We can start our class with 1st July. 1st July is Monday, right? Monday we'll start the class. So you have 1 week to study. Again, you have 1 week to study. Then what is the first Saturday, Sunday coming? That time we can have the exam.
7th
First
and
Saturday.
7th. 7th is Sunday. 6th
So
and
6th
7th.
and 7th. 6th and 7th. Put it in the group. 6th will be the orals and 7th will be the written.
Mataji, one request. Mataji, all the verses if you can share in the recording so that we have that chand, Mataji.
Yeah, I have that work pen. I'll do that.
Okay, Mataji.
All
Thank you,
the one
Mataji.
verses I'll do, not all together. So you can chant along with that verse again you can chant. First
Okay.
5 I put, no?
No, Mataji.
No.
I'll put.
You haven't put Mataji. Please put Mataji. Tomorrow my exam.
I'll put now only. What is it? Okay. Okay then. Mancha Kalpataruvyascha Pasindu Devachan Patitanam Pavani Vaishnavi Vaishnavi